And the weather's holding off here, Adam, for GLGT Race 3.
So far, so good. We're seeing the weather basically go north of us, so we're crossing our fingers, crossing our toes, and we'll see how this race goes.
Time to go racing. GRIDLIFE GT Race 3. Christian Aranja's the one to beat, but in the championship fight, it's Horpedal versus Hartman. Mustang versus Corvette. Green flag, and we're underway here at Pittsburgh International Race Complex. Aranja immediately out to the front, but look at second place. Hans Horpedal and Chris DeLucia around the outside trying to find speed up to the outside of the Supra.
We saw a good look on the left by Hans, and he chose center track. We'll see how that goes, dropping down into 5 here in just a moment.
And then into turn 3, A.J. Hartman losing a couple of spots. I really thought that he would be a bit more dominant here this weekend than he has been. Side by side into that turn 3 complex. He holds off David Bamforth for now. We'll show you championship points at the top of the screen as they started the race. Every lap, those calculations will update. And now with the points on the line, it's going to push James Houghton, who's absent here this weekend, off to the bottom of this list.
Kind of unexpected. Horpedal, as he worked on his car throughout the year, an early purchase early in the year, following CMP. He ran TC in CMP in his S2000, sold that, and this has been his project baby throughout the year. Been getting faster and faster, more reliable. Kind of fun to see kind of the dark horse pop out here.
This is not going A.J. Hartman's way. He's lost a spot here to David Bamforth through turn 10. And all the while, looks like Hans Horpedal has moved up to second past Chris DeLucia. So the math is going to get even better in Horpedal's favor next time around.
Just under 14 minutes remaining, and all these drivers do need to get to the checker to have any of this matter. This next race is based on random invert,
oh boy, side by side
wow.
in turn 14, A.J. Hartman and David Bamforth. Mustang versus Cayman, side by side. Bamforth cuts the corner there at 15 to try to leave him space.
Great driving by Bamforth. He's got a lot of seat time here. He's also running that in what, track mod in time attack?
Yep.
That car is putting in some work this weekend.
That was a very important pass for Hartman to complete. His car isn't super fast on the straights in comparison to Bamforth, whose car has been one of the quickest in a straight line here this weekend. Hartman's car, though, makes all the speed in the corners with all that A.J. Hartman arrow tacked on the front and back.
Almost seems like there might be a straight line problem with Hartman's car right now. We're seeing Bamforth all over the back of him and a little bit of an advantage in a straight line. There might be a slight mechanical or an off with Hartman's car.
Yeah.
Not where we'd expect it to be right now.
No, struggling a little bit. And this will be telling. Min-max speeds on lap 1, and Hartman isn't even in the top 5.
Yeah, there's
That's
got
very
to be
telling.
something wrong with that car right now.
Yeah.
I believe he missed a gear in one of the races yesterday per the group chat, but he's still in front of Bamforth trying to hang on to this.
It's interesting, though, that you see the sector times. He's third quickest of the laps on lap 1.
It just doesn't look right to me. I could be very, very much wrong here, but we're kind of used to seeing this car a little bit further up and not having, a Porsche all over the back of it.
Yeah, and see, look at this again on the speed trap. Again, he's P5, but only 126.
Yeah, he might be okay though. You never know. This is it just looks different on the stream, but that data does tell a story.
Yeah, it tells a story that the Corvette's really fast there. And look at the braking force. Chris DeLucia again has been really solid at that. A.J. Hartman's car with that arrow with solid brakes, second on that list. So great insights courtesy of Fire Laps, but here's the telling story with that arrow.
That's
A.J.
what we saw
Hartman
doing all year long. The car sticks to the ground for sure. But Bamforth kind of unexpected how much grip that car has with such a simple OEM-based aero package.
Yeah, also interesting to note that Bamforth was a negative G, which means that was to the left. Most of the high G corners here are to the right. So Bamforth is pulling a little bit extra somewhere on course as they head down the backstretch towards turn 17. Christian Aranja's out front. Here's the battle for second. This is going to knock Horpedal off of second place, which is going to take a couple points. And he's broken. Hans Horpedal's got a problem at turn 17. This is crucial in the championship standings as the drivers run around him. Horpedal's got a huge problem.
Oh, gets it going again. He's been struggling with a shifter. He's watching his left mirror there. Doesn't want to be in anybody's way. Good heads-up driving by him and everybody else. And
just like that, A.J. Hartman to the top of the championship. And while he's defending from David Bamforth in this fierce battle, it could come down to attrition if Hans Horpedal can't get that car repaired.
Hans quite a ways back now, not within striking distance, even with a perfect car. Unfortunate incident for him.
Yeah, and again, there's still a race left to go, and this is close enough that one race here or there could swap the things around, but there's not enough cars in here to drop you completely out of the points as long as you start a race. But if you don't start a race, you don't earn those points. Yes. So A.J. Hartman's got to keep the car together, and right now with this really intense battle with David Bamforth, I would want to be a little bit careful, but they're having a lot of fun right now.
Yeah, I want to be David Bamforth right now, chasing that big wide Mustang. That seems like right here especially, these cars doing things very differently, but making the exact same lap time and about mile an hour per the data. Yeah, and have a look at braking force here again. DeLucia just consistently hammering the brake pedal there. Yep. Ulrich and Wimble and Bamforth all exactly at 1.34 Gs, and AJ Hartman the lightest of the breakers that time. And as far as speeds that time, Bamforth 135. We've seen that car be the quickest in a straight line this weekend, and Hartman still the slowest of the top 5 there, 130.8. Yeah, this class, you know, when we wrote the rules, we expected to see exactly this because of the aero allowances and the power disparity across different weights. They're making the same lap time, they're just doing it very differently. And so Hartman now back up onto the podium for now, and as you see at the top of the screen, provisionally takes over the championship lead from Hans Horpedal. And again, I don't know if Horpedal did complete that lap, just 28 seconds back. So we'll see if he comes back around to complete another lap, if he's kept the car moving. That would help him a lot if he could just finish this race, if it was something where he just gets the car back in gear and carries on. I did see something moving up by the top of 12. There he is creeping and crawling. That's not correct. No, that is not the pace we're looking to see. Luckily, he's underway. Hopefully, he can watch those mirrors and get to a safe spot if the blue and yellow does come out. He's found it again. So it's just like it's missing a gate or something, or getting stuck in between a gear, or on and off problem, maybe an electrical issue. They were wiring headlights in yesterday, but I doubt they were running it off the bilge pump blower that feeds the driver's face. I doubt that has anything to do with the ECU, but car looks pretty strong going into 17 here. Yeah, whatever issue it is, it's intermittent. So as long as he's not in anyone's way, Adam, wouldn't you rather just diagnose this now and get it out of the way? Yeah, let's see if we can get some data. If I were him, you know, if it's working, it's working. And we see it dying here in the front straight again, though. Yeah. Something is up, unfortunately. He's trying to figure it out all the while. Christian Aranja has just been dominant here. This car actually doesn't really generate all that much power in this trim. Yep. But mid 300s. Yeah, it is a FIA spec GT4 car, and with that comes a really solid build and, of course, a very solid driver. Christian Aranja has run with us on IBOC GLTC, has driven this car before back at Midwest Festival too, so he's pretty dialed in. Alan Patton's running it in Unlimited, in Track Battle as well, but cool car too. Yeah. In one of the chats, I think it was Alan Patton said Christian Aranja is the best driver I've ever seen. Wow. And as a driver, he's driven SRO, Time Attack with us, some IMSA. That's high praise from the main driver of this car to say that about his buddy. I ran into them yesterday, and Alan Patton looped this car as we get another look here. Oh, that was a wild loop in Time Attack, yeah. It was, and I talked to Alan about that as we see against the speed traps there on the Fire Laps data about why that happened, and he said this car drove terrible. He goes, I have no idea how Christian was driving it because it was a mess. They hadn't touched the setup in this trim since Midwest Festival. Really? Okay. And so he goes, whatever we did at Gingerman does not work here. No. And he said it was just like playing pitch and catch. It was not driving well. And we did not see that out of Christian, so he had it underneath of him. This Midwest Festival especially, it's more of a polished off surface, and when you put all those people on that facility and it's not raining, it gets dusty. That track gets very, very dusty. So totally different setup from a track like this. Into turn 3. I don't think we're done yet watching this Bamforth versus Hartman battle, are we? Porsche versus Mustang. Making speed very differently. Bamforth very good in the long straightaways, but Hartman obviously the high G sectors coming up right here. And this is where Hartman's car really is designed well. I mentioned yesterday and before this event that, you know, Hartman's car, the sort of the general silhouette and the aero configuration and the sound of it reminds me a lot of the GTLM 4 GT. Big slide from Bamforth, chucking it in. Yeah, just keeps it there, but that's not the fast line, unfortunately. No, he really rings the neck of this car. Yeah, he had a couple incidents at Lime Rock Park, just trying so hard to find speed. I think this is his 4th year driving it with us. We've seen the car many times in a GRIDLIFE false grid. Oops, that was Bamforth again dragging a tire into turn 12. Right. The curbs end very abruptly on the exits here, so when you go into 12, you kind of expect to be able to ride that curb into the braking, but you can't because it just drops away into the grass. I'm wondering if Bamforth is throwing that hard, or maybe he's got tires going away very fast. He might have found some cords potentially. Yeah, these cars are much heavier than what we see in IBOC GLTC, so if you've got only a set or two for the weekend, you're going to be feeling it on Sunday afternoon here. Yep, the 350, 370 horsepower cars, they're going to use up a tire because they have the corresponding weight.
Gary Wimble kind of running a lonely 5th for the time being. DeLucia 12 seconds back from Aranja, then Hartman a few seconds back from that, and David Bamforth still hunting Mustangs here into turn 1 of this Porsche Cayman. Great sounds out of the Porsche too.
Yeah, fun battle to watch here as they do things so differently. But like we said, that gap isn't stretching a whole lot and it isn't shrinking a whole lot.
I think that twin turbo V6, for those that aren't familiar with AJ Hartman's build, it's a really unique sort of mixture of Ford components. It has the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 out of a Ford F-150 EcoBoost, and then it has the independent rear suspension from an S550 Mustang, and obviously the body.
On.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Just bolts right on.
That's nuts. And then obviously the new Edge Mustang body, and I can't remember what he's got for a transmission. I think it's out of a Shelby or something.
Yeah, I think it's a 6-speed if I recall. So the yeah, a lot of different Fords represented underneath that carbon silhouette.
He's also got, Ford sells electronic ECU sort of thing to run basically any Ford motor. Their Ford Racing sells this.
A crate engine style package.
Yeah, which is kind of wild because I guess you can get it for basically most Ford stuff.
Yep.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a motorsport-oriented vehicle.
They're popular engines like a Coyote, a Godzilla, a 3.5 EcoBoost. I think you could even get it for the little 4-cylinder turbos, the EcoBoosts.
Really cool. You just plug it in, turn it on, good to go.
Modern technology. I remember reading Hot Rod magazine when I was younger, and in '96 when OBD2 came out, I remember them talking about how the sky was falling, hot rodding is dead. I don't think there's anything cooler now than the programmability of a modern ECU. Hot rodding is not dead. It's maybe at its peak. You can buy a 700 horsepower car with a warranty.
Adam Ulrich might have had an issue there that last lap around. Actually, he's not even in this race.
Haven't seen him. No, I haven't seen him.
That's still, but here's sector times here. How about this? Sectors split across 3 different cars. Hartman quickest in Sector 2, Bamforth in Sector 3, and Gary Wimble quickest in Sector 1. Pretty interesting. White flag is out. Last lap of this race. Fastest car that time through was David Bamforth again. Maybe no surprise there. 135 miles an hour to Hartman's 130. That seems to be where that car kind of caps out.
Yep, slipperiest arrow probably in the field right now is that Porsche of Bamforth.
Yeah, and Hartman's gotten a little bit easier on the brakes, but DeLucia has not let up.
Just throwing this borrowed car as hard as he can. It's been really fun to watch. Very similar car to his silver E36, S54 powered, kind of a max effort S54, and really well set up chassis, you can see.
So up the back straightaway for the final time. This is a race that's going to put Hartman out in front of the championship, but it's not over yet by any stretch. Only 5 points between them. The difference from first to second is 4 points. Difference from first to third is 7.
If we can get a seat for Hans Horpedal to sit in and a steering wheel to steer, he might still be in the hunt.
Yeah, and I'm sure whatever is causing him issues now, he'll probably already have a pretty good idea based on his sciencing out here this race.
Hopefully it's not the $18 Amazon headlights he installed just in case of rain, because they were really cool looking. I don't want him to take those off. I want to see those. But
well, there he is.
Still circulating. Car seems like it's on pace, but he's probably going to see the blue flag here with Aranja behind him.
Yeah, and Christian Aranja and this Toyota GR Supra GT4 doing really, really well, driving away. Checkered flag. Win 3 of the weekend for Christian Aranja. Flashing the lights in celebration. Picks up another one here in GRIDLIFE GT. Chris DeLucia in the 62, and that borrowed car is going to come up the hill next. He's a long ways back. AJ Hartman, this is going to be a critical point for him this weekend as he crosses the stripe here. 5 points ahead of Hans Horpedal there in 3rd place in this race, now leading the championship.
Right now, you're championship leader. Right in front of us, the Carbon Mustang. Very cool build. If you are on property, you should probably go check it out.
Yeah, really, really cool. Gary Wimble comes across the stripe, top 5 for the number 11. And Christopher Schooler in the number 39 should be coming up over the crest here in just a moment. As Wimble finishes P5, we'll have Schooler and Zazulis, who had some kind of issue in this race, but he's still on the road. We'll come across the line next. Let's have a look at your race results here for GRIDLIFE GT as Aranja kind of completes his cool-down lap. We'll have a look at how things panned out for the rest of the field. We've seen no one other than Christian Aranja in this graphic on the right side winner panel this weekend. Chris DeLucia, though, and AJ Hartman, I think they still have some battles left to deal with. And, of course, Hans Horpedal now is on the outside looking in for that title hunt.
We'll find out what happened with his car. It did sound strong in that last straightaway as we heard it go by right in front of Christian Aranja. And yeah, hopefully he can get back into the seat. We'll see him in about an hour and a half.
Now, there's still more racing left to go. Let's have a look here at our highlights for GridLife GT race number 3. And on the start again, always a frantic start on the run to turn 1. Christian Aranha throttles up, but Hans Horpedal had a great start, put himself further ahead of AJ Hartman on the initial launch of this race, and got himself ahead of DeLucia. Then it was this battle that was fierce for the first 5 minutes. AJ Hartman and David Bamforth back and forth, just kind of throwing down the thunder into the braking zones. Then this was the pivotal moment of the race and maybe the season. Hans Horpedal having something go amiss in that Corvette at turn 17, dropped him out of the championship lead, took the rest of the race to try to figure out what was wrong so that he can go into race 4 strong, and all the questions have been answered. AJ Hartman ended up in 3rd place, dispatching David Bamforth, but it was Christian Aranha that came on through in dominant fashion, wins race number 3 here in GridLife GT. More coming after lunch here, though, because we've got our last races for all of our wheel-to-wheel series and the GridLife Track Battle Podium Sprint. More coming later. GridLife GT Race 3 complete.